Hello, hello,
Yes.
hello. And we are
Emerald Sisters Inspired. Episode 7, guys.
Yes. But before we get into our topic, I wanted to wish everybody a happy holiday.
Yes.
Please, just enjoy your family, enjoy the time that you're here, and just embracing that moment.
Yes.
So this episode is going to be about male ego versus female ego. What you think about that, sis?
Listen, it's something that's going to be an ongoing battle.
So, I'm gonna go off the topic of female ego. I feel like with female ego, it's more so about their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves,
Yes.
to push themselves in any type of situation, whether it's work, whether it's trying to raise their children, whether it's being a wife, whether it's being a sister, whether it's being this woman that is like the leader of several women in a fellowship. I just feel like that's just what a woman's ego kind of describes to me, because I've never seen a woman kind of like get out of line, or they might have a little attitude.
Tit for tats. Can be catty.
Yes.
We gotta admit that. We gotta put all those flaws up
Yes,
there.
and I feel also with the female ego, like there's a lot of self-confidence, and if you've been down for so long and you didn't really have that self-esteem, like we mentioned in another episode that we have, and you start to build up that self-confidence, I feel like that could be a part of stroking the women's ego, the female ego. So that definitely plays a part. And do you think a female has an ego is the question.
I mean, we can have egos. We definitely can. But, with us, it's more so, I see it not as ego. I see it as like having high confidence within yourself. As far as we don't have to be stroked of our ego. So that's the difference between a woman's ego and a man's ego. A man's ego is like, if the woman that they're with is not stroking it, they seem to confide in someone else that decides to stroke their ego and blows up their head and makes them feel bigger than what they are. So I think that's the difference.
I also see with the male ego, I also see some negatives and positives, but the negatives usually it's like a sense of having importance. Like they gotta feel like they're in that room with this high expectation of who they are. And sometimes they feed off of that, like you mentioned. They feed off of that, somebody stroking their ego, because...
And it could also mean entitlement, too. Because some people, some men feel like they're entitled to certain things. And I feel like with that, like, you have to humble yourself.
Yes, a humble pie.
Yes, you have to humble yourself. I mean, we all want to feel like we're the best at everything that we do. We all want to feel like we're the top person. But in order to get up there, you have to actually have positive people that surround you, people that will let you know about yourself, tell you about yourself, and let you know that, okay, you're getting a little bit beyond yourself. So you definitely need those people around you that will tell you, no. You can't have yes men around.
I see the negatives of the male ego. It's like it's like you're not in touch with reality. To me, that's the negative side of it. When you're not in tune with reality, you're not in touch with reality. You feel like the world is surrounded around you. Sometimes that negative male ego could kind of get in the way of things, like opportunities. It can hinder you.
Yes, it definitely can.
Yeah, and I usually see that like maybe when people are playing sports or a competitive nature, the ego tends to take over who they are. And I feel like sometimes you need to put that ego in a box and put it to the side, set it aside, and be who you would want to be besides the ego, So
yes.
that can play a part. How do you use your ego for good? Or is it just not, is it just for the bad? You know what I'm saying?
You can use your ego for good. And then also you have to look at how to prevent the bad. So that's one thing that you have to look at, is how to prevent the bad, so that way those paths won't cross each other. So I think one positive aspect of that is, if it's something that is going to help you and your loved ones in the long run, then yeah, the positive side of the ego, yeah, I see that. But if it's going to be something to where your ego is so big that you're bringing other people down to make yourself feel good, then no, that's the negative aspect of the ego.
Yeah, but I also believe that with the negative aspect of ego, talk about unconscious biases at play. Like, so when men have more ego displayed, they are more overt and obvious about it. It's like you could see it more so than you see it in the female. Like, they're more overt. It's like in front of you. So I feel like that plays a great part, like what we mentioned before about where you're in a workplace and you could be just chilling and this person could just, come across very egotistical and display some behavior that's not necessary in the workplace. So it's like, okay, what are you trying to get at, or what are you trying to accomplish by doing that?
I always see those people as attention seekers. And I'm the type of person where if I see that you are an attention seeker and your ego is in a way of respecting others within the workplace or wherever you're at, I really can't function with you. I am a type of person that I have to separate myself from you, because I know that you want to get the attention of the room and the spotlight has to be on you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Like, I feel like people will recognize you without you even being, you don't even have to be the known person in the room. They recognize people who genuinely are people that start, work their way up and actually show and prove. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Humble yourself. I feel like that's the most important thing that you can do, is humble yourself, and people will love and respect you regardless. Yes.
So I feel like the importance of male egos, has a lot to do with social, psychological, and biological roots. So that stems from somewhere. Like, it had to been passed down from generation to generation.
It starts at home.
Yes, it does.
It's what you put into your children. It's what you feed into them.
Yeah.
And if you keep feeding those egotistical traits into
that's what they're
going
to pass down to their children as well.
And when they get in front of people or get around others, they're not going to know how to act.
Like, there's a difference between, like, I know this is a little off of the topic, but kind of coincides with it. There's a difference between being confident and being cocky.
Oh, yes.
So when you are confident, you don't need to diminish anybody else's reality or them being in front of you, or, like, if you're confident, you feel good about yourself, you feel good about where you're at in that moment around the people that you love. When you're being cocky, it's like you just diminish anybody else of what they feel. You don't care who's in the room. You don't acknowledge people. Like, that right there, it's just all about being self-aware of yourself. And since that's going to be one of our topics coming up in 2 more episodes, so just be on the lookout for that. But, like, you definitely need to know the situation you are in, situational awareness.
Yeah,
that's another thing you need to worry about, like, as far as the situation you put yourself in. So when you're around people like that are very egotistical, you tend to want to not be in that moment, in that situation at all, because that feeding that off of you, it makes it a negative vibe. Period. It's a negative vibe.
That energy when you walk into a room, or have you ever felt like you walk into a space and it's just negative, and you're like, I have to leave, because you don't want to project that negative energy onto others and people around you that you love, because that person can drain you.
Definitely.
So people like that, I tend to stay away from. If I feel like that you always have to have the attention and you're cocky and, it has to be about you, I have to remove myself.
Yes, because it could go left.
Yeah, it could definitely go
It could
left.
definitely
And
go
that's
left.
with women and men. Like, let's keep it real. Not just men, just
Yes.
both in general.
Yeah.
Because you have, women that tend to, they feel like they have to push somebody else down with the cattiness, and they feel like they have to dismiss how somebody else feels because they feel of importance. No.
Yeah, that's where I feel like they have low self-esteem, because you could have an ego and be the lowest person ever. Like, you just don't have a lot of self-esteem, a lot of respect for yourself, for you to put other people down because of the way that you come across. So that's what we're going to end on with male ego versus female ego. I just want to say, let everybody know out there, don't get yourself down. Don't let anybody put you down. Don't let anybody break your spirit. I know this some of you out there is a tough time around the holidays, but try to find some type of peace and serenity and sanity in this particular time, at this time. So I want to say happy holidays to you.
Yes.
So look out for the next episode. It will be coming soon. And it's going to talk about experience around the holidays. And we're going to focus on mental health, as far as like how to carry yourself around the holidays, how to kind of give yourself some type of importance around that time.
Yeah,
so peace.
Yes.
Definitely you need peace. So thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen out there. My emeralds. I can't believe we're almost gonna be hitting
10 episodes.
Yes, we're almost there. We're in episode 7, about to hit episode 8. So my emeralds out there, thank you for listening.
Yes.
Thank you for hearing us out and being supportive all this time. So
support other businesses out there. Small
definitely
businesses.
do that.
They definitely need this help. It's kind of rough, even though it's a rough time right now. They definitely need the help. If you have it and you're able to shop,
support, donate. I'm pretty sure they got Cash App, Zelle,
support
all that.
Small businesses.
Definitely do that. And we are Emerald Sisters Inspired.
Thank you for tuning in.
See you on the next episode.
Yes.